Hey guys, Mr. Last J368 here with part 4. I actually counted this time, went back and had a count. Part 4 of the little Minecraft YouTubers and co. Because it's me and Mark, also known as Little Snowskin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's Mr. Master Chief 368. 368! Okay, Mark?
386.
Ah! And yeah, and by co, I mean we've got Connor. That is all.
What does a wooden sword look so badass?
It's the stone sword, and oh yeah, the wooden sword does look pretty cool, but the stone sword, because it's like an orcish weapon, it looks like a broken penis. Look at it. I ripped my victim's penis off and stuck it on a hilt, and now I shall beat you with it.
I'm gonna have some exploring and shit.
Hey guys, I dug into a cave here if you want resources.
Why'd you keep turning your mic off?
I don't know.
You should stop that. You'll get grounded otherwise.
Yeah, you'll be grounded.
Yeah. Oh, in the...
I'm already on the ground.
Older than you.
Well then, we'll send you up to the top of the roof, where I always go and think deep thoughts.
It'll punch you off.
Then we'll push you off.
Well, PvP's off. I'd like to see you try.
We'll do what I was going to do at the start. I will do what we were going to do at the start of one of Mark's videos.
What, jump off and die?
Yes! I actually feel like doing that. I don't know why.
Where are you, Connor?
I'm in a cave I dug myself. Yeah, let me lead you to it, because it leads to a proper big cave. See here from the house? Where are you? I'm at the house. Come find me.
I'll be right back. Just in the middle of the video saying that I'm going to be right back. Yeah, alright, I'll be right back. And yeah, you two keep my YouTubers entertained, my peoples.
Oh, yeah, tell a lot about everything in the last video, by the way.
Fuck you, I'm still here.
Yeah, what about that Tyler kid? Isn't he such a douchebag? Jesus.
Hey!
Oh my god.
I'm still here!
Everything that we said, everything we said should happen to him.
You do know I've been standing here for the past like 5 seconds.
No, you haven't.
I'll be right back.
Complete bullshit.
Stop lying, Tyler. I'm behind you, dude.
Alright. Basically, walk through here. Come on.
But we'll explore it together because I've got food in that.
And then through there, follow the cave all the way down. Yeah, I need torches. Awesome, let's go.
Even 60 stairs at one point.
Yeah. It was kind of rushed, but hey, I made it to a cave and I thought that mattered. Yep. Cave!
And let's find some iron, there's coal there.
Yeah, I found a bit of iron, it's in this furnace already. Oh, and that's the end of
some iron.
That's the end of the cave. Yeah, I wanted to explore it. Oh well. What is this?
And I'm back.
What is this? Oh, sandstone. Okay.
You do know, guys, whatever you said whilst I was gone, I will see at the end of the video when I watch you back.
Didn't say much.
We said that all of the bad stuff that we said should happen to you should happen.
No, I think it was there when we said that.
Yeah, I know. You did that. No, we said we hope Tyler gets like loads of swag points when he's gone.
Yay, swag! Because, you know,
points. Jesus Christ.
I prefer brownie points. Hey guys, I'm gonna do what everyone does. Oh my god, sleep!
That's not funny.
Now we're blind. Nice.
Where are you, Connor?
I'm heading back up because it's night.
Stop, Tyler. I'll disallow you from sleeping in a bed.
Make me stay up all night, do the Russian sleep experiment on me.
Oh, that's grim.
So, nearly
Sleep
free.
experiment? What the hell is that?
I'll read it out on
They
one of my
get
channels.
some people, but let Tyler read the creepypasta out.
Oh god, now I've got to find it. Where's my phone?
It did happen, no, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's true. It's a true story. Oh, it's based quite tightly on a true story.
It's something Russia would do.
Yeah. Alright, let me see if I can...
Like, stop people from sleeping or something?
There's some sort of weird gap.
We have iron! Whoop!
How do you spell experiment? E-X-P-R-P-E-R. Experiment.
M-E-N-T.
Where the hell is any of the wood?
I can't find it on the app. I'm gonna have to Google for it. Or Bing, sorry.
I've got iron ore.
We have no sticks.
The Russian sleep experiment.
Go and get some more. I have 16 sticks.
Alright, you guys ready for story time?
Here, Connor.
Cheers.
Alright, you guys ready for story time?
Yup.
Okay. The Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas based on stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them. Since it was toxic in high concentrations, since it was toxic in high concentrations. Full stop. Sorry about that. I sort of read it along. Anyway,
Did you make yourself a sword?
this was before closed circuit cameras, so they only had microphones and 5-inch thick glass portholes size windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on, but no bedding, running water and toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised, falsely, that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, as it was noted they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past. And the general tone of their conversation took a darker aspect after the 4th day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were, and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they seemed to think that they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other test subjects in captivity, with them. At first, the researchers suspected that this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber repeatedly, yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated, that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about his behaviour is how the other captives reacted to it, or rather, didn't react to it. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I've got a bit of a sore throat. Anyway, they continued whispering to the microphones until the second of the captives started to scream. The second non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared page after page with their own feces, and pasted them cramly over the glass portholes. Then the screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering to the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure that they were working, since they thought it was impossible that no sound could be coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something that they said would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the captives. They were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Complaints will earn one of your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response: "We no longer want to be free." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed out of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened and soldiers sent in to retrieve the test subject. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. Food rations for past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There was chunks of meat from the dead test subject's thighs and chest, stuffed into the drain of in the centre of the chamber, blocking the drain and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. Sorry. Hold on, where am I? All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicated that most, if not all of them, were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the ribcage of all 4 test subjects had been removed, while the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remained in place. The skin and most of the muscles attached to the ribs have been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the ribcage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact. They had just been taken out and laid on the floor. Fanning out around the secreted, but still living bodies of the subjects. The distinctive track of all 4 seemed to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that they were digesting their own flesh they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. They continued to scream to be left in the chamber, and ultimately begged and demanded that the gas be turned back on, lest they fall asleep. At least till they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles, Jesus Christ, ripped off, and an artery in his leg severed by one of the test subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives, if you count ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. Damn, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Pretty much, right? Eventually, some of the test subjects died out, and then it ended up going to be one left. And one of the scientists held a gun to his head, like when he shot him, and said, "Who are you?" He said, "We are you. We are the things that you hide from underneath your from your beds at night. We are those that surround the darkness and that are always in your head." Then apparently the scientist pulled the trigger, and the last words that guy said was "so nearly free" before the Russian test subject died. The Russian sleep experiment.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Well, guys, that wraps up this episode. Hope you enjoyed.